Portions of the following program may have been pre-recorded.
The following program's views, claims, or ideas may not reflect those of WSRR Radio or StylesRebelRadio.com.
In the Steel City, where the rivers align, Lucas and Dom crossing the battle line. Weekday mornings, it's a sportscast scene behind enemy lines in the heart of the dream. Every play discussed, every game analyzed. Cleveland's pride seen through Pittsburgh eyes. Behind enemy lines, where the passion ignites. Cleveland and Pittsburgh battling in sights. Lucas and Dom rise with the sun. Every morning at 10, let the games be fun. Tune into the waves, feel the thrill unfold. Behind enemy lines, stories to be told.
Hello and a happy late Thanksgiving to all of our loyal WSRR radio listeners. This is Behind Enemy Lines. I'm Luke Strazio, joined as always by Dom Farrow, and we are recording this on November 27th, Thanksgiving night at around 9:50 p.m. And folks, tonight me and Dom are podcasting and doing a radio show on hard mode. We both are wearing two separate forms of headphones, one to hear a FaceTime call we're on, another to record on. We're both at our parents' houses. We're going to be over Zoom. I'm just going to ask everyone to bear with us in this one, all right? Because right now we're making it as hard on ourselves as possible.
Well, we're fighting.
You know,
we battle through the adversity, and I think that's the biggest.
That's right.
Thing,
We
that
fight.
We don't give a week off.
We
We're
fight
doing
tooth
this
and
on
nail for the
Thanksgiving
content,
for the people, because we love them. We love the people.
Yeah.
So
Not
we're
only
here for.
Not only are we dealing with some technical issues, but we're stuffed full of turkey, stuffing, gravy, mashed potatoes. The tryptophan levels are off the charts. We're battling here on a Thursday night after, like I said, just stuffing our faces with some Thanksgiving goodies. We saw some good Thanksgiving games today. That's right. A couple of good games of football, a couple of shootouts in the two early windows that ended up having a little bit of, somewhat anticlimactic endings, but at the same time, it was a good games overall. The Packers went all in on a deep shot late against the Lions that paid off. The Cowboys were able to hold off the Chiefs. Is this going to be the first year since 2015 that the Chiefs do not make the playoffs, Tom Farrow? That is the big question right now, sitting at 6-6 through 12 games.
That is the question on everyone's mind. And if you look at the picture for the Chiefs, it's not very good. But at the end of the day, I do think they are going to make the playoffs. I don't think the rest of this AFC is going to hold up. I think you're starting to see some things slip across the league. So I wouldn't be surprised if the Chiefs make it. In fact, I'd be even more surprised if they missed it at this point, even though they're sitting at 6-5 after today.
6-6 now.
6-6 now.
They came into the day at 6-5.
That's correct.
Came into the day at 6-5. I will say, Mahomes really came into this one and kind of gave like a vintage Mahomes performance, to where he was chucking the ball around the yard, he was getting out of sacks, he was doing it with his legs a little bit. He really was showing that no matter what the record says, I'm still that guy. I'm still an MVP caliber guy. And sometimes the ball doesn't bounce the way you want it to. And at the end of the day, you lose games, especially when you have the resume that he has and the amount of games that he's played in. At the end of the day, I feel like I've talked about this before on the show. When you play in so many close games, over your career, for the most part, it's kind of going to even out. You know what I mean? It's going to get close to 50-50. The greats obviously win a little bit more than they lose of them, but I don't think the margins are quite as large for the great players as people might think they are until they look at the stats. When you're a good team and you're in these close games, it is going to kind of come down to, a couple of balls It's a game of inches. A couple of times where you do or don't get a yard or two. And I think that this year that's kind of catching up with the Chiefs to where they've been in so many close games over the last however many years that they've had Mahomes and Andy Reid. And they've come out on top on so many of them that now it's just like maybe this year it's like starting to even out a little bit. They're kind of like catching statistically the median a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think this year they are like the median, which I think is still good when you look at it as like a whole. I think a lot of teams would like to be as successful in close games as the Chiefs are this year. But when you put it in perspective, like the last 5 seasons where every single close game they ended up winning, it does seem like they're going through it. But this is still a really good team. Mahomes, though, you're right. Like, this is the type of game where he was vintage. This was phenomenal game, but the loss, though, will really stain this one in the long run. I think the Cowboys in this one were even more impressive and not necessarily solidified themselves as playoff contenders, but in my mind, they should be in the playoffs. I think they're a good enough team where they should be in the hunt this year. I think they should have a chance at going for it all.
Yeah, I mean, they looked awesome. I mean, it's hard to count out a team that has CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens. I mean, in this one, George Pickens he's showed it all year, but like he has looked awesome. And in this one, again, he did once again, he looked like it's tough to say this when CeeDee Lamb's on the other side, but he looked like their best receiver.
He did.
And my brother was watching the game with me and he turned to me and he said, "What were the Steelers doing? Like, what happened there?" Or maybe it was my dad who said it. And like, we were kind of like, well, he is a nutcase. And like, he's a, Antonio Brown type guy, like where you kind of don't know what you're getting off the field. And I think they kind of wanted to distance themselves from that. And, they got DK Metcalf out of it, but as a Steelers fan watching George Pickens go to the Cowboys and make some of the plays that he's making where he's, getting away from guys. He looks so fast after the catch. He's making really good contested catches. He's just doing it all. He's jumping over guys on the sidelines. How much does it hurt? I don't want to rub it in any way, but how does it feel to see that when I feel like DK Metcalf may be underperforming somewhat for what you guys were hoping to get out of him?
Little bit.
Not that he's had a bad season either. Not that DK's been terrible, but said it before. He doesn't have the output that DK or that George is this year.
Oh yeah, George is playing like a top 5 receiver this year. The numbers are insane, especially in recent weeks. I think he's just been getting even better the more he connects with Dak. But I said at the beginning of the season on record, I'm rooting for George Pickens to succeed because he is so talented. Like, there's no doubt the plays that he makes, like watch him, that he should have been better with the Steelers. But the fact of the matter is he had 4 pretty disappointing quarterbacks, especially starting out. You have Kenny Pickett, you got Mitch Trubisky, you've got Justin Fields, Russell Wilson. It's not good. He never really got to develop connections with any of those guys. So in that aspect, I get why he was frustrated. He wanted to get out. The other thing that I'm seeing with this Cowboys team and the way that they're using Pickens is that he's always in the middle of the field. Like, those slant moves are just so hard to beat with the way that he catches the football away from his body. The Steelers, the only plays I remember, probably you remember, are the deep, off the sideline, 30-yard bombs. He was never going down and catching in the middle of the field. It just never happened with the Steelers. So I think a lot of the success is in the way that they're using him, and I'm happy to see it. But it does pain me that, like, we couldn't figure out a way to use that talent. It doesn't hurt me that he's doing well. It hurts me that the Steelers team and the way that this offense is ran is just might just not work in the current NFL.
I absolutely never understand why NFL teams do this to where, like, they'll put, like, I understand that you put your best receiver out wide a lot because it's harder to win on the outside, being an X or Z receiver. It's harder to win against a number 1 corner when you're on the outside and like really for the most part, you don't have as much of a two-way go when you're when you're playing in the slot and stuff like that. But like a guy like Pickens, like you kind of just said, like, why only put him on the outside? Like, I guess the mindset is kind of like a worse guy has a better chance to win in the slot, because they have a two-way go. There's more options. There's more to guard. A lot of times there's matched up on either a nickel corner, a safety, or a linebacker. It's not the number one guy. But it's like you should exploit that matchup as much as possible, should you not? And make it a shorter throw. It's not as hard for the quarterback to throw the ball all the way out to the boundary, like it is when you're throwing to one of those wide guys. A lot of times it's more in his sight line. It's a closer throw. It doesn't take as long to get out. Sometimes there's more traffic in there. But, like, there's so many stories of, like, guys who it's like, yeah, they move him in the slot and they move him around and put him in different spots. Like, it baffles me when you see a guy's snap share and it's like over 60 or 70% are from the wide spot. Like, the most cerebral, or the most not cerebral, what's the word I'm looking for? Come on, serial something. The most the most dangerous guys in the league are the guys that offenses move around. Like, right now, Jackson Smith and Jigba's having the best receiver, the best season in the NFL at receiver, and they move him around all the time. He's out of the slot, he's in the boundary, he's on the wide side of the field. Sometimes he's coming out of the backfield. He's really close to the line. He's a wide slot, a mid slot. Like, I don't understand why teams don't do stuff like that more. Just, like, get creative with it, move him around, have him on different guys at different times. Or if they want to keep one guy on him, put him in a spot that he's not as comfortable with. You have a wide corner who's always, shadowing him or mirroring him, going to each side of the field. Put him in the slot. Make that guy play nickel corner now instead of playing wide corner like he's used to.
Yeah, I mean, you're saying all the things that I've been thinking. It hurts to see the Steelers do that. I guess, like, the last few seasons, they didn't have a chance other than to put him in the outside just because of the type of receivers that they had. But coming into this season, you have DK Metcalf, where I think he could have replaced that role. And now I do think it looks bad, only getting a third-round pick for Pickens. But he was never a part of the future vision. I've made peace with getting rid of him. I made peace with it the moment he went. It just never seemed like the right fit. So it hurts, but he's a baller. I'm going to keep rooting for him. I'd love to see him in the playoffs this year.
All right. Well, it wasn't the right fit. The question right now on everybody's mind in Cleveland is number 12 the right fit at quarterback? Shedeur Sanders winning his first start, the first time that a Browns quarterback has won a start in the last, I think it was like 17 times that a Browns quarterback has made their first career start. Since before they left and then came back, I think it was. If he can win this weekend against the 49ers, which I don't anticipate them doing. I don't anticipate them beating the 49ers. If he can, I think it's going to be the first time that a quarterback has won his first two career starts for the Browns since like the 1960s. Of course, They played a really bad team. They played the Raiders, who stink this year, in all honesty. They fired Chip Kelly after their offensive coordinator. They're having a rough year and having a lot of issues themselves. Browns defense once again stepped up. Once again makes me so sad that, yeah, it's great that we won this game and, the defense got to show out. They had 10 sacks in this game. It just really makes me sad that they're wasting another year of spectacular defense and spectacular Myles Garrett play. Looks like he's on pace to break the record now. He needs 5 sacks in the last 6 games to beat the record, 4.5 to tie it. I think Shedeur looked good. He looked all right. I don't think he did anything insane. He had 2 long throws on improvisational plays that I really like to see, because the throw to Isaiah Bond down the sidelines was the biggest throw of the biggest play of the Browns season offensively. And it's a tough throw. Honestly, it was a good arm talent throw that not every quarterback in the NFL can make, in all honesty. But that kind of wasn't the thing that people were questioning coming into his NFL career wasn't all that much of the arm talent. Like, he showed that he has it. And I think everyone knew that. One thing that was embolstering to the people that, support Shedeur was the fact that he didn't get sacked in this game. One of the big things about him coming into the year was that, he holds the ball too long. He gets sacked too much. We saw it in the preseason a couple of times. He seemed to be making reads and getting the ball out quick. I think his arm looked better than Dylan Gabriel's. I don't think there's any reason to go back to Dylan Gabriel for at least 2 or 3 games. I think that Shedeur has now,
But yeah,
he won his first start. And again, I don't think it was all him. I mean, you look at his stats, it's going to look really good because he threw a touchdown to Dylan Sampson. That was really a screen. He threw the one long pass. That was pretty good. The Browns had a pretty good running game in this one. I don't think he was really asked to do a ton. The pick was really bad. He had a really bad interception where the defensive end just dropped out. He didn't see him. He threw it right to him. But I mean, like, why not give him a shot at this point? I think what we've seen is that Dylan Gabriel's not good enough to be, or at least at this point, he's not good enough to be the franchise guy. We knew that. I think we kind of figured that out from however many starts that he's had. Again, the first start and the first win for Shedeur, he can be the franchise guy, but it's not out of the realm of possibility quite yet.
Yeah, no, that's still up in the air. The win is the biggest thing. It doesn't matter about history. It's just that getting off to the start is big. Dylan Gabriel, unfortunately, his time is done as a Cleveland Brown. It might be the end of his time really as a starter in the NFL, unfortunately. I'd like to see him get another chance, but what he's shown in the NFL hasn't been enough.
You're the biggest
Shedeur
Dylan
Sanders,
Gabriel
though,
supporter
the
right
only
now.
reason
You
I
love
could
that
see
guy.
him, low-key, I might be the second biggest outside of
That is
Kevin
true.
Stefanski, because I don't think
Kevo
he likes
loves him.
Shedeur Sanders at all. I don't think he's a big fan of Shedeur.
Yeah,
He loves Gabriel?
I think he's obsessed with Dylan Gabriel. I think that
Yeah.
the talks in Cleveland are that Shedeur Sanders was an Andrew Berry pick and Dylan Gabriel was a Kevin Stefanski pick. But go on. I didn't want to.
I believe that
I
for
interrupted
sure.
a rant that you were going on. Go ahead.
Oh, I just don't think Kevin Stefanski likes Shedeur. I think he dislikes Shedeur more than he likes Dylan Gabriel. Because in that post-game locker room
I
speech,
saw
I don't know if you saw it, he was hyping up everybody. Oh, the defense. Oh, hey, yeah, Shedeur, you got to win. Very, very cool.
Yeah.
Very nice, Shedeur. Kind of brushed over that really quick. I thought it was a much bigger deal. It seemed like Shedeur thought it was a much bigger deal from all the talking he was doing post-game, but I mean, that's his brand. So I get it. He's got to have the swagger, the cockiness. It was kind of cool. I can't hate because he comes off a win, looked decent. Overall, I think the Browns, you got to roll with Shedeur, like you said, for the next 2 or 3 games.
Yeah, and I think
at
that
least.
like the quarterback class right now doesn't look great for next year. Like Arch Manning, I think that last year when we traded him back in the first round, and it was like, all right, we now have 2 first-round picks next year. One of them the Jaguars, one of them is the Browns. It's like, maybe we can take Arch Manning. Cade Klubnik came into this year and was a big name. Garrett Nussmeier, same thing. Like, and some of those names are still like up there a little bit, but there's no one really who jumps off the sheet who's like, this is the number 1 pick. Now, I'm sure in a couple of months when it's draft season and no one has any football to watch and people are just going over tape and watch the Senior Bowl and all that junk, that there'll be someone that somehow is now the number 1 pick. And if anyone passes up on them, they'll be stupid, which kind of happened with Cam Ward last year. So we'll see what happens, come draft season. But I would love to see, like him be okay, or, again, I don't want to hold out hope for this, but like, what if Deshaun Watson looks okay? I would love to draft, around some other stuff, get a receiver, get some offensive linemen. I think I talked about this a lot last week. Like, there are some pieces where there's the ability to win next year, whether it's Shedeur or someone else. I don't think you need all that much production at the quarterback spot to win some games next year. I think you need someone who can manage, who can run the offense well, which was why I was excited about Joe Flacco at the beginning of this year. I thought they could have won some games with him, a veteran guy who knows how to get the ball to some weapons and, knows how to run an offense, matriculate them downfield. But I don't know. I think that at this point, there's no reason not to give Shedeur a little bit more of a shot. I do think that it was weird in the post-game presser. Like, you do have to give the flowers to the defense. They had 10 sacks and Myles Garrett had 3, and he broke his own Cleveland Browns record for single season sacks. And, he's going to get the game ball. Like, that's fine. Like, that was one thing that ESPN was like, oh, he didn't give the game ball to Shedeur. It was like, yeah, Myles deserves it. Like, he had a strip sack. He broke his own record. Like, all the stuff. He's the defensive player of the year in a lot of people's minds. But yeah, I would have liked to see some juice to be like, hey, how about this guy first Browns quarterback to win a start in, 20 years, 20, 30 years. Like, let's give him a little bit of juice. And it is pretty apparent that Stefanski's not fired up on him. And then it took like a day or two to even be like, yeah, he's going to start next week. Like, he didn't even come out right away and be like, yeah, we're going to like, ride a hot hand and, take this momentum into next week. He was like, we'll see what happens. So I didn't really love that, but yeah, we'll see about this week playing against the 49ers, a very good team. And we will see you after this first break. Stick with us right here on Behind Enemy Lines. Thank you very much for listening to WSRR Radio.
Hi, this is Melissa.
And hey, it's Matt.
Coming at you from Synergy Music Studio.
We are a recording and production studio located on the south side near Chicago.
Check us out online at synergymusicstudio.com. We offer recording, mixing, and mastering.
And follow us on Instagram at Synergy Music Studio. Rock hard.
I'm Lucas Durazio from WSRR's Behind Enemy Lines, the Cleveland sports talk show from Pittsburgh. Living in Pittsburgh, I've gotten to familiarize myself with a lot of hardworking, locally owned brands. And I'm here to talk about one of the best in not only Pittsburgh, but the nation in Hellbender Vinyl. With Christmas right around the corner, I know some of our local bands and artists are looking for that special holiday release this season. Maybe a limited holiday album run on red and green vinyl? Whatever the occasion, Hellbender Vinyl has got you covered. Hellbender is Pittsburgh's first and only custom vinyl record pressing plant and is one of America's most trusted. With a wide variety of colors and designs, Hellbender Vinyl is second to none when it comes to making your next album release something special. Visit hellbendervinyl.com today to get started. And don't forget, all customers receive 5 free test presses at no additional charge. Hellbent on quality, hellbent on service, hellbendervinyl.com. Welcome back to Behind Enemy Lines right here on WSRR Radio, which is brought to you by our proud partners at GenericClothes.com. Nobody cares about the details. Get to the point at GenericClothes.com. Don't sell out to the big brand clothing empires, and their prices make a statement at their expense with GenericClothes.com. Dominic, today for us, but yesterday for the listeners at home was Thanksgiving Thursday. Like we said, we watched some good football. Ate a lot of good food. What were your biggest sleepers on the dinner table this year for the Thanksgiving meal? There was some stuff that kind of came out of the blue for me that I was really digging.
Yeah, I mean sleepers. I mean always the cranberry sauce. Always.
Yep.
That's a sleeper for.
Did we talk about cranberry sauce last week?
I don't think so.
Did we talk about this or no?
I don't think.
I've decided that as I'm aging, the cranberry sauce is one of the most pivotal points of the meal. Like, I think it
ties everything
huge.
together.
It's a huge role player.
100%.
It gets everything going. I can't have white meat turkey now unless I have cranberry sauce on it. It's too dry.
Yeah, turkey's
cranberry
garbage.
sauce brings some moisture, brings some sweetness. I love it. Yeah. Turkey usually really bad, but this year my brother and his wife, they got a 36-pound turkey, big dog. They were roasting it for a long time. It was succulent and juicy. The white meat was a little dry, but the skin on the outside was nice and crisp. It was very well seasoned. They used some injectors. The dark meat was just, it was tender, fell off the
Delectable.
bone. It was juicy. I was loving it. But that was one of my big sleepers because it was it was probably the best turkey I've had. The best turkey I've had at a Thanksgiving.
Yeah, that's good. I don't think I've ever had a fried turkey. I don't think I've ever had a turducken. Those are two things I'd like to try.
No,
in my life.
I would love to try a turducken. I've never had a fried one either.
Really?
They didn't fry it. Did I say that?
No, I was just thinking about good types of turkey because I've never had a good
Yeah,
turkey really.
I've never had that.
But I see people doing that every year.
I love to try
and they
different-
like set their house on fire.
I was gonna say, and it's a huge fire hazard.
They always make that like a big deal, but I've actually like never met anyone who's fried a turkey. I don't think.
I think that the people who fry turkeys are the people who are like, yeah, I take Thanksgiving pretty seriously, but they don't actually know what the hell they're doing.
Because you need like a whole special like vat just to cook.
Yeah, you need like
Like,
a
it's,
pressure
like,
cooker,
plugged
deep
into like
fryer
a
thing.
generator.
Yeah, and you have to do
it's
it like
an
outside.
insane amount of energy. Yeah, it's it doesn't seem worth it really. I mean, they look a lot better. I'm not gonna lie. Like I see a picture of fried turkey, I'm like, that looks amazing. So much better than the turkey I'd be eating.
I went to a Friendsgiving this year, and it was actually with your old college roommate, Big E. And he
Let's
made a
go.
turkey that was
Friend of the program.
very, very good. Like I didn't get a ton of it because I was kind of last to the table to get stuff, and I got some scraps of the turkey. But then he had some more turkey that was in like a crock pot that was cooked in, I think, some like cranberry type sauce in there. And it didn't have super strong cranberry flavor, but like it wasn't as dry as normal white meat turkey is. So that was
that right?
encouraging. What
Biggie
else do we
snapped
have?
on the turkey.
Yeah, Biggie knew what he was doing.
I was thinking today, like, starting to become unk, and I really don't want to become like the guy who's cooking the turkey one day. I just can't have it happen. Or ham. Like, maybe I'll make mashed potatoes. Maybe I'll make mac and cheese, but I just can't make a turkey. I think that's like what they want the old heads to do, but I don't think I'm going to be able to do it.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know how. Like, I wouldn't know the first step. I don't even know how to carve a turkey. My brother always is the one to carve it, and like, I feel like one day
I certainly don't want to stuff it.
we'll have to. Yeah, one day our family will, I'm sure, host a Thanksgiving where we have to know how to cook the bird. And it's going to be I might have to do some research because I take some pride in my cooking. Like I do like to chef it up and
for sure,
and come with the meals and get everyone rubbing their belly and going, oh yeah. But I feel like that's a little bit out of my oeuvre where I'd be a little bit worried about ruining everyone's, especially like I feel there's so much pressure with that. Like everyone looks forward to it, like the month leading up, being like, oh, I'm gonna have like turkey. It's the one time of year where I really have turkey like this.
big turkey.
You kind of have to do it right.
Just sliced turkey.
Yeah, exactly.
What's the big difference between sliced turkey, like deli meat, and then this type of turkey on Thanksgiving?
Processed? I'm sure it's just completely, totally processed. There's all types of
It's just congealed.
fillers. There, yeah. I don't know if it's actually even like one part of a turkey or not. Apparently,
In my head, like I feel like turkey is the healthiest cold cut, but I feel like they're all just
I always feel
awful
like
for
that
you.
because like I know we've talked about the Son of a Boy Dad podcast on here before. Like they were talking about it being like, yeah, any like deli meat is actually like really bad for you. It's processed meats. And I was like, well, like I don't know. That was my first thought, was like, well, turkey's like a little bit different, right? And they were immediately, it's almost like they heard me. They were like, no, turkey, same thing, terrible. It's all processed meats. You shouldn't touch it.
really.
And I was like,
Yeah, I've heard sliced deli meat is one of the worst things. Hot dogs also not the best, but you got to enjoy the little
That's
things
right.
in life. So
that's something I like about a hot dog
it's
too,
worth
though, is
it.
that there's a little bit of danger to it. I remember, again, another thing I think I've talked about on this podcast, there was a smear campaign on hot dogs for a while there, where I feel like People Magazine or someone put out a article that was like every hot dog you eat takes 30 minutes off of your life. And I remember for a while, like
Yeah.
for a couple years span there, I was like, yeah, I couldn't be caught dead eating a hot dog. Like I was totally off the dogs. Like at any time at a cookout, like
Really?
just for a while there, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna pass. And
Well, there are some absolutely sick and vile places to eat a hot dog. Like if you're eating hot dog in school, that's
yeah.
crazy. Like in the cafeteria, you're wild for that. If you're eating at a baseball game, you're eating at a cookout, you're eating it for a review,
Hell yeah.
at golfing, after golfing at Dell's,
Oh, you know
perhaps,
it.
then those are all
What about at a
acceptable.
movie theater? What
But
about
if
a
you're
movie
eating it
theater
for
hot dog?
lunch, I personally I would never do that. But I guess it is like a classic. For some reason, it's a
Yeah.
classic movie theater food item. It's like get that in the popcorn. It's like I've never once wanted a hot dog while being in the.
I got
dark at
I got a
movie
theater dog the other day. I went to see that new Glenn Powell movie, The Running Man. That movie sucks. First off,
Yeah.
that movie was so bad.
Horrible, huh?
It's the adaptation of a book, and my friend told me that the book was okay, but like the movie was so fast paced. Like it really felt like they were trying to slam like a 600-page book into 2 hours, and they did. But like literally, like one of the first scenes, like is the main guy talking to his wife about like how they're struggling and they're poor and blah blah blah, and like they are talking a mile a minute. Like they're literally like. She comes home and she's like, oh my God, I had such a long day at the club. And he's like, I can't believe you worked there. It's so crazy. By the way, our daughter is sick and she lost a sock. And like, I need to go do this. And she's like, oh my gosh, it's so hard out here. I'm going to go back to the club and go back to work because right now we need it. And we are poor. And I was like, oh my God, everyone slow down.
I think Glenn Powell, like any movie that he's in, is just it's got to be
Yeah?
awful.
What about Top Gun Maverick?
Can't stand that
You
guy.
can't stand him?
Oh yeah, I guess he was in that. That movie was kind of cool, but he was like he wasn't likable in that movie.
Yeah, I think
at all.
he was kind of
Even at
supposed to
the
be a
end when
douche.
like yeah, but at the end he was supposed to be like, all right, now we're cool. I'm like, no, he still sucks.
He does
That
play
guy's the
like he
worst.
plays a good douche. I'll give him that. And like, yeah, I feel like he's kind of gone from like that non-likable character in a movie where like he's trying to be the jerk to like now they're trying to make him like the lead man, and he just doesn't
I'll tell
fit
you,
as great as it should. I will say really quick, he's pretty good in Chad Powers. I'll give him that much. He's pretty funny in that show.
oh yeah, I haven't seen that. That I don't know if that's for me,
It's
but
pretty-
it kind of looked
it's-
interesting.
It's got
But the
decent slapstick humor. Like it's not great.
yeah,
Like it's not like, you know, the movies of like the 80s and 90s, like or early 2000s, like comedy sports movies, but like it's kind of in that same vein
Yeah.
where it has some decently silly moments, but like is also takes the sports aspect of it like
like
somewhat
Ted Lasso,
serious. I don't know. Ted Lasso?
like Ted Lasso. I haven't seen
yeah,
that, but-
I guess Ted Lasso's a little more
I haven't seen
heartfelt.
either
I
of them.
think.
I probably won't ever. So is that right? I haven't seen them. But the moment I turned on, or I started to dislike Glenn Powell was he did that promo with Sydney Sweeney for the
Oh,
movie.
for anyone but
Remember
you.
that one? Yeah, did you see the like
I don't know
promo
if I
that
saw
they
the
did?
promo. The movie was pretty good. The movie actually wasn't too bad.
Well, the promo that they did was one of the toughest things to watch ever. So look that up. if
What's going
you
on in
haven't
this
seen that
promo?
one. But they're basically just acting like absolute fools. My Wi-Fi doesn't work. I pull it up on my laptop, but it's just an uncomfortable watch. That's
What
all.
are they doing in it?
Wish I could describe it more, but they're just acting like idiots. They're like, I don't know. I gotta find it. He's like,
They're cut. This is cutting deep. This is spectacular. Spectacular.
this is amazing.
Yeah,
this
this
is
spectacular
podcasting.
content.
What's the guy? Sydney
Glenn
Sweeney
Powell.
and
The movie theater hot dog though. Doing a movie theater hot dog review in the movie theater in the dark was a challenge, but you guys should go check it out at LVD Dogs on TikTok. You guys will love it. But it was
you
shockingly
guys
good.
should.
And like I was ready for it to be terrible and like to hate myself for having it. And I was really impressed with the Waterworks Theater in Pittsburgh and their hot dog execution.
Really?
Yeah. It was pretty good.
That surprises me.
Yeah.
What was so good about it?
Well, I mean,
Without
where do I
giving them the full
start?
review,
Soft
give them a little
bun. I
teaser.
think it was a Hawaiian bun. That's good stuff. It had solid snap, really good juicy flavor. Not super high quality meat. Fell apart in the mouth a little bit. Not not the best
That's
mouthfeel.
not great.
But the flavor can make up for a lot, and the flavor on it was really, really good. And again, like it shocked me. It shocked me. I was ready to get like something in the 4s, 5s, maybe 6s at the top. I gave it like an 8.7. I was really impressed.
No way.
Yeah.
No way. That's insane. You just said the meat fell apart in your mouth and
Yeah.
it's an 8.7? That's wild. I don't know if I can get that. That seems too
It was
high
pretty
for me.
legit, man.
I might have to go next time I go to the theater. I'm gonna have to
Gonna have to get the
that.
glizzy.
That sounds
It
pretty.
was
dang good.
it was impressive. It was impressive. But Glenn Powell's acting was less than impressive. I was upset with him. I was
Yeah.
upset with him from watching that movie.
Yeah, I'm out on that guy. Out on him. I'm out on a lot of actors.
Who's like
in
who?
movies.
Who's your most recent out on other than Glenn Powell?
Well, I'm pretty much like out on everybody. It's more like who am I
Yeah.
in on? That's really
The things for me is
Which I
there's
can't
so
really,
few
think of anybody.
there's so few young people who like I feel like I'm in on, like Chalamet. Like I'll see pretty much anything that Chalamet's in. Like
I'm in on him.
not that I'm
in on
like
him.
dying to see anything, but like if there's an option and Chalamet's in it, I'll be like, yeah, I'll watch that. Like this new Marty Supreme movie, I have no clue what it's about except
Yeah.
for like ping pong or something. Like I'll see it because he looks kind of silly, like promoting the stuff for it, and like he seems to be the guy of
Yeah,
our
it looks good.
generation who is going to be like the good, the good actor, and so far he has been.
Yeah. Yeah, he's kind of the guy. I'm trying to
The
think
only
of
other like
guys who
guy
like have fallen
from-
off.
somewhat our generation. I mean, he's not from our generation because he's older than us, but like the only other person who I can think of as an actor who we've like seen throughout our lives, and we've seen like a lot of his career thus far, is Robert Pattinson, who like right now is at a good artistic and
Yeah.
popularity point to where like,
I think his last movie was kind of a
what was
bummer, right? Mickey 17. That was
I
like
heard it was okay.
A24.
I didn't see it,
Pretty
but
sure.
I heard it was
Really?
alright.
I thought the trailer looked really cool.
I
and
think
then
it's on
didn't
like
hear
Amazon
anything.
Prime. Actually, it's on my
I was like,
watch
"Oh, let me
list.
see
I got to
it."
watch that. I mean, he's a killer in
I'm
Batman.
kind of interested in seeing that. Yeah, he was surprisingly good. He's probably like the best Batman because I rewatched his Dark Knight movies. People are like they're some of the greatest movies of all time. I'm sorry, they're
Oh,
not.
I don't know,
They're
man.
just
You
not.
got to take it easy on Bale.
They're not even like a top 50
Dude,
movie
Bale
of all
knew what
time,
he was
really.
doing. Don't act like he didn't. And Heath Ledger,
Bale is
don't
one of like
even-
the worst parts of that
my
movie.
thing, my big thing for putting those movies very, very high is because of Heath Ledger's performance as the Joker. Like he's awesome.
Also, like slightly overrated, pretty good performance, but people act like it's the greatest performance of all time. I mean, it's people say that because it literally like turned him
Because it
against
killed him,
himself.
basically.
Yeah,
Like
Yeah,
obviously,
exactly.
yes, he like
uh,
dove himself so much into the character that it ended up, whatever. But can't say that it's not a great performance. You're tripping, dude. If you're saying that that's overrated, you're tripping.
I did not say it was great. I just said it's not the way that people talk about it is like it's the greatest performance that there ever was and
Pretty
there ever
damn
will
good.
be.
But I don't think it's obviously. I mean, I think that any acting in any superhero movie, it's pretty tough for me to be like, that's a great. Like, I think for a superhero movie, they
True.
did as good as you can. You know what I mean? In making it like
True, yeah, that's
realistic, but also like superheroes and like comic booky, but also like because I think
Well, I think they did that in this newest Batman with Pattinson. I think they did it in a better way, except not as dark, which I prefer it being more dark, like in The Dark Knight, but I do think they captured realness more. Because the Marvel stuff is
totally
unwatchable. It's like, what am I?
I can't
what am
watch
I watching?
it. I don't watch any Marvel now.
It's out of this
I think
world.
after
Bananas,
I don't think I've
bonkers,
seen anything since
crazy
Endgame, to
stuff.
be honest. And like even that, I was kind of just like, all right, yeah, like whatever.
Yeah. Doesn't
Does not move
get
the
me
needle
going like
for
some
me.
other people.
Can't watch any of it. Have never watched a Marvel show.
For sure.
There's very few side character Marvel superheroes that I've seen their movie, if any. Now that I'm thinking, I mean, you could pay me.
You
I'll
couldn't
take
pay me to
money,
watch
but
that.
I'll take money to watch a movie. You're crazy, but yeah.
Maybe a movie, but not a Marvel TV show.
I don't know about that
Couldn't
either.
pay me to watch that.
I think you're devaluing yourself a lot here.
Yeah, you can pay me. There's a number. There's a number, but it would be a high number. It'd be like
That's a high number. to
$50
you?
an episode. I mean, that's making $100 an hour.
You thought someone
I'll
would
take
be like,
that.
"I'll give you $2 an hour to watch the movie." Like, obvious. I feel like if someone, anytime I say you couldn't pay me to do something, like that would be like the baseline of something. Someone being like, "I'll give you $20
You're thinking
to
already?
do something."
Hundreds.
You're tripping.
Well, $20, I'm not doing it. $50, now we're talking. So if any of our loyal listeners want to step up and pay me $50
Toss
to
me
watch
50
Marvel,
bones to watch
whatever,
Loki.
let me know.
I'm in.
Thank you. Let me watch The Shield for
10 seasons.
10 seasons,
What the hell could they be
$1,000.
doing
Sign
for
me
10
up.
seasons on that show?
I don't know. I'll see. I'll watch every single Marvel
4.
show ever.
How many Marvel
For
shows are there? You might be
$10,000.
out there for a while. You just got to scroll through Disney Plus. There's all types of shit on
I
there
don't know,
you've
that's a
never
great
even
question.
seen. There's all types of shit on this show that you've never even
That's
seen.
true. They're coming
Come
out with
back
new stuff
in
every
the
day,
last segment because we're going to break down
including our next
the
segment.
biggest interview maybe of all time. We're getting back into our Rizzler hour, our Rizzler era,
Yep.
because an absolute bombshell was dropped on the Rizzlerverse this week. Stick with us through the break and hear all about it right here on Behind Enemy Lines.
Imagine spending hundreds of dollars of your own money to advertise a massive corporation. Now imagine that same corporation using your money to pay a public figure to sell a product back to you. Unfortunately, you don't have to imagine. Corporate product placement is the monopoly of the clothing industry as we know it. That's where GenericClothes.com comes in. Stick it to these big brand clothing cunts by wearing something straight and to the point. GenericClothes.com's got you covered and lets you have a laugh at their expense. Nobody cares about the details. Get to the point. With shirts like floral pattern, trademark logo, music band, and more. Once again, that's GenericClothes.com.
On Christmas Day, the star led the three wise men to Jesus. Here, it leads you to Saving Underground Radio. WSRR, The Star.
In possibly the most ambitious media crossover, maybe of all time this past week, an absolute bombshell of a video was dropped onto me and Dom from Caleb Presley, a Sunday conversation with the Rizzler, of course, but not only a man who's gained a lot of notoriety over the last few years, has fallen off a little bit, and you haven't heard quite as much of him, a little bit out of the news, but Dom, do you want to set the stage? Because you sent me this video and absolutely blew my mind on a Sunday morning.
It was one of the first things I saw when I opened up Twitter. It's one of the first things I do every day when I wake up, check the news, see what's happening on Twitter. The first thing I see
Immediate screen time.
was the Rizzler and Hasbulla meeting up. And it was just about a 30-second clip. And I didn't even watch the video. And the first thing I did was send it to Lucas. I was like, you got to see this. And then watching the full video, it was one of the greatest things I'd ever seen. First, the clip, it made me laugh out loud. Usually, if I see something on Twitter, I don't laugh out loud. Maybe I'll exhale out my nose. I'm not laughing out loud. This thing had me dying. Just the clip alone. I was
This
like,
had you straight up giggling.
this is amazing.
See, I
And
think
the
it's funny
fellas met
because
up.
that was the reaction that you said you had, and you sent it to me. And Hasbulla walks through the door and he slams the door open. I didn't laugh at all. I got chills. Like something sent a shit, and I'm not even joking. Like I got goosebumps on my arm. A shiver was sent up my spine. Like something
He was
about
a little-
a moment like that where someone walks into the room with that much confidence and is in its Hasbulla. Like I get chills.
like the Rizzler alone having an interview with Sunday Conversation was going to be amazing. And then when you saw that, it was like, wow, this is
Yeah.
otherworldly. Like what kind of timeline am I living in now? Because this is awesome.
It's
best
so
timeline.
funny how it's funny that like Hasbulla was when we were like juniors in college, right? Like that was
Probably,
a
yeah.
few years.
He was
Like
big time.
that was probably 5 years ago when Hasbulla was really kicking.
Pushing it for sure. And at this point in recent years, I thought he had retired of being an influencer.
He
I thought he had just like kind of like taken it easy, fallen back. He made his money and now he's just chilling. And to see him do this, media is pretty cool.
Yeah.
This publicity he's getting.
I thought it was hilarious because it was like the way that Hasbulla was, obviously there's like a language barrier. The way that Hasbulla
Yeah.
was talking and like the things that he was making the Rizzler do, like in this training. First off, if you haven't seen the video, you go watch it
Please.
right now.
Please watch
We'll
it.
wait. We'll wait here while you watch it.
Pause now.
But like, oh my god, it was just golden. Like I actually
He's helping
thought
him do
for a while there
push-ups.
that Hasbulla thought that the Rizzler was training to be a UFC fighter. Like he was strong and
he definitely
listens.
was thinking that.
Yeah, he was like he listens and he is strong and he is a warrior, and I think that he has a lot of good qualities about him and he can be a great champion. He kept talking about being a champion. I was dying at that.
I wonder what they told Hasbulla what was going to happen that day. Like, all right, you're going to have this kid, you're going to teach him how to fight. He probably genuinely thought that he was trying to like teach a prodigy how to become the next Khabib or the other guy who's big right now,
Yeah.
Islam Makhachev.
I was gonna say you're the UFC guy, you should know.
UFC's fallen off big time, but that's a conversation for another day. Hasbulla, well, there's been two different views of this video. There's been our view, which is, this is sick, I can't believe this is happening. And then there's been the view of specifically what happens at the last like 5-10 minutes of the video, where Hasbulla and the Rizzler spar,
They do a
and
little
in which
sparring.
Hasbulla, a 20,
Spoiler alert.
20-some-year-old man, punches the Rizzler in the face.
A
Some would say it's
9-year-old.
by accident. That's what I think. But when you think about it that way, it's not the best.
Yeah, but
That's
is he
a grown
really
man
like
punching
obviously
that.
yes, it's not the best, but to call him a 20-something-year-old man, he also weighs like 70 pounds and like is 3.5
Much
feet.
smaller than the
like,
Rizzler.
come on.
Probably half the size. In my head, watching it, I think the Rizzler was kind of scared that he was going to hurt
Yeah,
Hasbulla.
100%.
Because I think if he really wanted to,
I was
he could've.
worried.
So I think
Watching
they're both,
it had me on edge a little bit. I was like, whoa,
kinda
what's going to
take it
go
easy.
on here?
it was a little intense. So the Hasbulla hits Rizzler with a shot to the face. I think it was accidental. And then from the
Full fight
sides,
breakdown.
Caleb Presley and the other people are like, get him back, talking to the Rizzler. Like, hit him with a gut shot. And the Rizzler actually locks in for a second. You could see in his eyes that he wanted a piece there. And so he went for it and he got him good. And I think after that, basically, Rizzler knew that if he wanted to, he could have ended that fight whenever
That
he wanted
fight.
to.
Oh my God, relax. Take it easy, bub. I'm gonna have to go back and rewatch the video after this because it's just so electric. I loved it so much.
It's very
But
funny. The whole
I
thing's
actually
great.
did think it was great.
My favorite part of the
Go ahead.
video was the first 5 seconds where Hasbulla says "Assalamu alaikum" to the Rizzler, and he says, "Yeah." He says, "Yep."
Assalamu
He had
alaikum.
no clue what he
Yeah.
just said.
Shakes his hand.
Yeah, and then I was surprised. Hasbulla actually he knows a good amount of English. He was like, "How are you?" And Rizzler was like, "Good."
Yeah.
And then that was about it.
Oh my God. First off, the reaction of the Rizzler looking at him being like, no way. Like, just to me,
He put his
the way
hands
he
on his
was
head.
paying respect to the man who had come before him, I was like, hell yeah. Like, the Rizzler knows his place. Like, I've said this before, but like, he just has such a good grasp on the awareness of who he is and what's going on around him.
Comedic timing.
And he had it in that moment again to recognize the presence of a legend walking in and being like,
He put both
yeah,
both hands
of
on his
all
head.
the
He just
celebrities
surrendered. He's
that
like,
the
"Oh my
Rizzler has
God."
met and stuff at this point, it was Hasbulla that made him go, oh
He's
my God.
starstruck.
He like took his breath away. But then like part of me was actually like, this is actually really good for a young man who's 9 years old, who right now, like Caleb Presley said, like, I know a lot of it's a joke and like whatever, there's a lot of satire and irony in it, but like some of the stuff he was saying, he was like, know what you're going through right now. And I was like, honestly, he's dead right. And like Hasbulla came in and I was
It
like,
is true.
honestly, I think that could actually really be a very mutually beneficial relationship to like help guide him in a way.
Come on.
You know, like, I don't know.
No
Maybe
way.
maybe I was just tripping on a Sunday morning, but like,
You're right though. Like they're the only people who have
yes,
that type of experience.
those two
for
do
the most
really
part.
like truly
Uh,
understand. They are one and the same.
But the biggest
Yes.
problem is the
Yeah,
language
of course.
barrier.
Of course.
So that's
Of
going to be a
course.
problem. But I think overall it was really good for all of them. I think they all came out better men. And like I said, if you haven't watched it, even though we've given some spoilers, you haven't experienced it until you've seen it with your eyes. So please
Yeah,
watch
it's-
this video.
Oh, it's really a piece of art. It's spectacular. The Rizzler is just another gem of his that you can't watch without smiling. And he really is he truly is a treat every time I see him.
He is. Another great part of this video is them doing
Yep.
jump rope. Pretty good. Rizzler kind of put on there. Hasbulla was helping him with the push-ups. Of course.
My favorite part
That's a
was the
great
kick
one.
where he's like hitting the heavy bag and he's like, nah. Hasbulla go, nah. Hit it like this. And Hasbulla kind of has a good little roundhouse kick there where I was like, oh, and then Riz hits it right back. And I was like, he's learning. He's learning something. I think that he could be a champion. He could be a great
He's got
champion.
power.
That was some,
He could be a great
he
champion
will be a
one
great
day.
champion, the people's champion.
He will
Thank you
be.
guys for listening here to the Rizzler Hour. This final segment talking about Rizzler and Hasbulla. Like Dom said, it's really indescribable. You just have to see it, just like this show. Totally indescribable. You just have to listen. So thank you guys for doing so right here on WSRR Radio. Happy late Thanksgiving. And thank you for joining us once again on WSRR Radio.
The preceding program was a sponsored production. The views, claims, and ideas expressed may not represent those of WSRR Radio.